Good evening. We're coming to you from the historic Elysian Park in Los Angeles, California. Now, every week on my show, I challenge people to take big risks, but some have been critical that I never take risks myself. Well, tonight, that's all going to change. Over the past month, I've been learning how to pick the lock on these police-grade handcuffs. Why, you ask? Because tonight, I'm going to take a bigger risk than anyone has ever taken on television before. In just a few moments, I'm going to be handcuffed to this solid steel frame, and I'll have exactly 90 seconds to free myself before the claw on this robotic arm undoes my pants, exposing me to an audience of children. If that happens, an LAPD officer is standing by to arrest me for indecent exposure. We've all seen escape artists risk death before, but tonight, I'm going to risk something even worse, becoming a registered sex offender for life. And what you're going to see tonight is 100% real. This is Nathan for you. If you've seen my show before, you know I usually focus on helping small businesses by bringing them big ideas. But tonight's episode is going to be a bit different. Right now, you're seeing my final practice run and my last chance to get the escape right before risking life as a sex offender. But to get to this point, it took months of planning and preparation. I found an actual California judge that would agree to advise me on the escape on camera, the Honorable Anthony Filosa. So if I don't escape in 90 seconds, I'll be exposed to some people.
What are some people?
Just like adults or something? I don't know.
Children, adults?
Is children better?
Interesting question. Both can be offended. More likely children insofar as that it's offensive, period.
So you're saying it's better to use children?
I don't really think it's my place to suggest it.
Okay, sure.
Right? Yeah, I really don't.
I took the judge's suggestion that I should expose myself to children. And on top of that, he was a treasure trove of information on how to become a sex offender.
There would have to be the element of willfulness, proven.
So would it help if right before I did it, I said, I'm doing this on purpose to expose myself?
Well, you just abandon any precaution. You know, folks, something could happen here, and if it does, so what? Something like that.
So it's like, you know, if this goes wrong, I don't really care.
Too bad, because
Too bad. I'm gonna get off. It's gonna make me horny.
Well, whatever.
The most troubling thing I learned from him, though, was that if anyone helped me pull my pants down, they could go to jail, too.
That person is as guilty as you are.
So I can't have any helpers.
Right.
I didn't want to put anyone at risk besides myself, so if no human could do it, I was going to have to use a robot. And the search took months, with everyone from US defense companies to NASA telling us the technology didn't exist to have a robot pull down someone's pants. But I didn't give up, and eventually I found a company that said they could do it.
So this is it. This is a Kuka Robotics KR15-2.
After John showed me the robot, I explained to him specifically what I needed it to do. Then once the pants are down, I want it to come up here, hook onto the boxers, and pull those down. John suggested making custom-designed pants with loops that would make it easier for the robot to remove them. So I hired a tailor to make the pants to John's specifications. And over the week they were being made, he informally became my practice partner. I borrowed a pair of his underwear so he could pull down my pants all the way without seeing my penis.
90.
The pants being taken off was definitely distracting, but I was getting closer to my 90-second goal. Time, stop it. What do I got?
Okay, 150.
And after getting an hour or so of training in, the completed pants were packaged up and delivered to Real FX so the robot could begin being programmed. All right, so we're about ready to begin. Everyone has been cleared out of the escape area besides the necessary people. Officer Billy Smalling is here, obviously the children, and Judge Anthony Filosa to do some final checks. So does everything look good in terms of the setup for an indecent exposure conviction if I fail tonight to escape?
Apparently it does.
Good, that's all I need to know, thank you. And
now Nathan's stepping over to Officer Smalling, and he is going to go ahead and inspect those handcuffs and make sure they are up to standard.
Double locked. Smith & Wesson police handcuffs, just like we were issued in the police academy.
Okay, great. And here is the key.
And it's time now for Nathan to make his way to the stage. You know, you wonder what's going on in Nathan's mind right now and if any amount of preparation is enough for the pressure that he's facing here tonight. Nathan now making his way into position. You can see Officer Smalling locking him into that loop, and that is a solid steel frame. Certainly an adorable group of kids they brought in tonight. You certainly hope the night doesn't end with them seeing a man expose himself to him. The stage is set. Nathan has 90 seconds to free himself from those cuffs and hit that red button to his right. The button is a kill switch. It is the only thing that can stop the programmed motion of the robot from taking off Nathan's pants in front of these kids. And now he will deliver the line given to him by Judge Filosa.
Something might happen here, and if it does, so what?
And with that, he has established willful intent, so if he exposes himself tonight in the eyes of the law, it will not be considered an accident. And the 90-second clock has started. There's the robot. Nathan appears as though he's pulled a pick from his hair, and that's what he's working on those handcuffs with. But we are 80 seconds away from a lifetime of scorn for Nathan. Now the robot going to that fly. The fly is down. And while he's working on the handcuffs, the robot continues to work on the pants. Loop on the button now undone. We're under 60 seconds, and the robot is almost halfway home. You see he's exposed a 5th loop on the underpants. The kids are laughing, but I can assure you, Nathan is not. Under 50 seconds, and he's dropped the pick. Did it catch? It looks like it's caught on his clothing, and now he's trying to retrieve it, and he's got it. Got it with his, what a close call as he retrieves the pick with his tongue. Had that fallen to the ground, it would have been all over. And next is going to be the loop on his right hip. This is getting tight here. The robot now has both pant legs down, is about to secure the loop on the underpants, and Nathan's still working on those cuffs. We are just 20 seconds away. Nathan working those handcuffs. It looks like with the pants down, the robot's going for that underwear loop. Nathan has not broken free. We're under 10 seconds. The robot is pulling down. We have just a couple seconds left. Oh no, we are seeing pubic hair, but he has escaped. Nathan Fielder has managed to escape and save himself from a lifetime of shame.
Underneath this man's clothes is a huge gift from God. Can you guess what it is? That's right, his Santa Claus body. James Bailey has been a professional Santa for over 20 years, and if you looked like him, you'd be one too.
I am 6'4", and I do weigh 350 pounds.
Holy
Yeah, holy
yeah.
I mean, my doctors would like me to lose some weight.
So it's the trade-off between living longer or dying and getting to be Santa. It's like, what's better? It's hard to say.
Well, it's very hard to say.
But for someone so committed to bringing us joy, it's a shame that for most of the year, James is completely out of work.
In the summertime, Santa Claus becomes a homeless person.
But I wouldn't be here if I didn't have a solution. So you know the best time to buy a winter coat is in the summer, because that's when all the sales are.
Yes.
So what I'm thinking is that same approach with Santa.
I'm not seeing how that applies to Santa Claus.
Every Christmas, people line up in malls to get their pictures taken with Santa. But what if you could do it when it's less crowded and at half the cost? The plan? Discount photos with Santa in the summer.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I can see the dollar
Yeah.
signs in your eyes. Yeah.
Right.
For this to work, we needed to get a shopping mall on board, and mall manager Sweeney Montanola at the South Bay Pavilion in Carson, California, was happy to let us try out our concept.
I think Santa in the summer is a fun and unique idea, and it will be great for South Bay Pavilion.
With a mall on board, it was now time to buy the supplies for our Christmas village. Which stuff do you rent for the most? Which holiday?
Christmas.
Christmas?
Yes.
Okay. You really shoved this away in the corner, huh?
Yep.
No one likes it?
Yes.
But after renting our props, something bad happened. The mall's policy requires a background check on all employees, but when we had one run on James, something actually turned up. So I paid him a visit to see what the story was. You have a criminal record?
Well, yeah, there was a misdemeanor really from a DUI many years ago.
Okay, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. But then again, from the first day I met James, I could tell he was different from other Santas.
This is a Smith & Wesson 500 Magnum, 45 caliber semi-automatic, 22 rifle. The AK-47, this is a 300 little shotgun in case you're into shotguns. It's a 357 Magnum, and that one is loaded.
Okay, we can't take out a loaded gun. And there hasn't been any other crimes that I should know about?
No, there's nothing there.
Even though James had a criminal record and a closet full of guns, I could still tell he was a good guy. But when I went back to South Bay Pavilion, they didn't see it that way.
I wouldn't allow anyone that has any kind of background to be that close to kids.
I mean, he's a really good guy. I think you'd really like him.
No and no.
Okay.
Definitely no.
I didn't know how to tell James that the mall didn't want him, but I paid him a visit to break the news.
It's also important if we could have it set up so that we could print the photos right there.
Right.
You know, so we do the digital, get the pictures taken.
Sure.
So that might help draw more people in.
Right. So I spoke to the director of marketing at the mall,
Okay.
and
They're okay with us doing it? Yeah? Great. So we're going to make this happen then. That's outstanding.
yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
I just got to say thank you, really. I think this is just awesome.
James seemed so excited, and I just didn't have the heart to tell him that he wasn't wanted by the mall. So my only goal was to make it happen. My hope was that if we got in there early, we could do about a half hour's worth of photos with James before anyone realized we weren't supposed to be there. So on the morning of August 2nd, we quietly pulled our truck up behind the JCPenney. And before unloading the village, I had a quick word with James. Just so you know, if I ever say abort, we should just walk to the exit, if you can.
Abort.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. All right, quicker, guys. We're gonna be doing a Santa display soon. Maybe over here. Maybe like the background is here. Do you want your picture taken with Santa? Come.
Hi there.
Hey,
What's your name? Here, come here, little one. Yes, you know how to do it. Yeah. You're gonna smile, look at the camera.
Whose permission do you guys have to be here?
The mall manager. What's your name again?
What is your name?
I'm Nate. I'm just an elf. Wait. Check your photo taken with Santa? It's $5 only. It's a discounted prices because it's earlier in the year.
Excuse me.
Okay, come.
There's an exit door right there, please.
Okay.
What's going on?
Abort. Abort. Let's go. Just take the stuff. Come on. Just take something and let's get out. Excuse me. Okay, can you stay away from the cameras, please? No. You can't go in front of, please, can you stay away from our camera person? From the camera. Okay, we're going.
I'll make $9 an hour, let's go.
We are leaving.
Nathan, you want me to stop him?
Excuse me?
I said, do you want me to stop you?
Me?
Yeah.
You can try. Yeah, you can.
You've never messed with Santa Claus, have you?
That's nice, let's go.
All right, okay, no, it's
cool.
okay. James, I'm out of the door, stop it.
Oh my goodness.
James, come with me.
This is no joke, let's go now.
Okay, I know we're both trying to do our jobs.
Shut the up.
Okay, don't swear, there's kids around. Do not swear, there's kids around. You can't swear when there's children around. Yes, I'm walking. We're both trying to do our jobs, okay? You can't think your job's more important than mine. Stay back, please. You can't say the F word around kids.
What just happened?
Okay. When I talked to the mall manager and I told her about the criminal record thing, she didn't want to have us. So we weren't allowed to be in there.
That came up?
But I didn't want to tell you because I thought you'd be sad. So I wanted to go through with it. I mean, I honestly felt like it's a human rights issue. You have to be able to do this when you did something so small in the past.
That guy almost wanted to fight.
But just what you did, stepping up to him, just again proves like my point of how great of a guy you are.
Oh.
And just how much you deserve to be doing this.
Well, yeah, it was great. The little kids are enjoying it. That was fun.
The main point is we made a stance.
Okay.
And we did what was right.
All right.
You understand?
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Merry
Say,
Christmas,
guy.
bro.
Hey, all right.
It felt good to help someone with a criminal record redeem themselves. But what if I could prevent someone from entering a life of crime while they were still young? When I see stuff like this, I see what's probably a teenager headed down the wrong path. So I decided to catch a teen doing graffiti and then warn his parents before he turns to a life of crime. To do this, I created a series of fake promotional posters for my TV show that may seem innocuous, but to an immature vandal would be extremely tempting to deface. To see which one would work best, we left the posters up for a week in several locations around the city of Los Angeles. To my surprise, the Every Penny Counts poster, Risk equals Reward, Tie shoes for safety, and Be flexible didn't attract any graffiti at all. However, Dream Big and Stand Up to the Big Guys did. I decided to go with Stand Up to the Big Guys since there was opportunity for 2 dicks and put it up on a wall near a local high school. I left a pen and added a sticker that would make the act even more irresistible to an immature smart aleck. With all the elements in place, I watched from a van across the street, ready to pounce at any moment. I'd been monitoring the poster for over 4 hours, and no one had defaced it. For a moment, I thought this wasn't going to work, but I was quickly proven wrong. I was taking the pen. Oh my God, he's actually doing it. On camera. Let's go, let's go. Hey man.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going.
Cool, what are you doing there? Oh, that's so funny, you drew a
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny. We're doing a show about teens, cool teens, called Teen Street. Is it cool if we ask you a few questions for the show?
Sure, no problem.
All right, cool. That's really funny. That's mega funny. This teen was no good, and his parents needed to know what he did. So to earn his trust, I told him we wanted to make an entire Teen Street episode about him. So he spent the rest of his afternoon shooting segments for a fake show.
What up? I'm Kyle, 19 years old, Mrs. Teen Street. If you don't like it, f you. I do whatever I want, and I can do whatever I want. The thing I'm most proud of is I make a load of money. No regrets.
Listen to that.
Yeah, I skated for 6 years, played the drums for 6 years, and did Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You have to love your mom. If you don't, go f yourself.
This show is about the coolest teens in town. Teen Street, bitches.
First tattoo when I was 13. This is the only girl that never complains to me. All right, so now I'm gonna show you where I live. Let's do this.
For the final part of the segment, I said we had to do a tour of his house. He didn't know it, but he was leading me right to his parents, and I was going to tell them what he did to my poster.
What up? This is my pad. This is where I spend my time making trouble. I'm going to show you a tour real quick.
So who's this lovely lady?
Oh, well, this is my mom, Sherry.
Awesome, man. Guess teens have moms.
Right?
Yeah. All right, but we need to stop laughing for a moment because we have to sit down. I have something to talk about.
Okay.
He's drawn 2 penises right there, and you can see I'm holding them as if I'm masturbating these 2 men. You're laughing.
I don't.
What do you find? Is that funny to you?
No, this is not funny.
The penises? Do you like that?
No.
Being held like that? Is that? So this is okay.
That's
so
not
this is funny to you. To my surprise, even his mom wasn't taking this seriously. Luckily, I had an LAPD officer with me to set him straight.
What we have here is a crime. Someone sees you commit the crime, you can get arrested, you go to jail. And believe me, you don't want to go to jail.
Would drawing penises going into someone's hand be a segue to, murder?
Of course not. I don't think so.
Never.
I'm not going to say never.
So maybe yes.
But,
so then yes.
If you choked on it, maybe.
Kyle, show respect and apologize.
it's a good way to go.
Well, I did enjoy drawing penises next to your face, but I really do
No, I
apologize.
don't accept that. I don't accept an apology that starts like that.
Apologize for drawing wieners next to your face.
Okay.
All right.
You're a good kid.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of potential. And to be honest, I see some of myself in you. But you just have to try to become more like me and less like you.
No, I disagree. I think he should be more like himself.
Well, he shouldn't be like himself, obviously. Someone who draws penis should be more like. Every year when the new season of Nathan For You is about to premiere, Comedy Central will schedule promotional appearances for me on late-night talk shows.
Please welcome Nathan Fielder! Nathan Fielder!
Nathan Fielder!
Nathan Fielder! Everybody!
But as someone who's not naturally charismatic, these appearances have often gone awkwardly for me, as I've struggled to find interesting things to say about myself.
What part of Canada are you from?
Vancouver.
Oh!
Have you been?
Yes! Yes, I like it there.
It's really nice. You see, celebrities normally use talk shows to give fans a window into their exciting lives.
Me and the president are like this. We're best friends.
But unlike Kevin Hart, I haven't met the president. My life just isn't that interesting. When I'm not at work, I mostly just spend time with my cats. You guys try to take a shower? Or try to perfect a cooking skill, like boiling eggs. So when I was recently emailed a date to appear on Jimmy Kimmel Live to promote the new season, I was filled with dread. Any potential story I tried to tell just felt boring. When you take them out of the boiling water, you need to put them into ice water immediately, or else the yolks don't, they'll keep cooking, and they'll get too hard. Mm-hmm. With the pressure on me to gain viewers for the new season, I just couldn't afford to bomb on a talk show again.
You want to come back on another night and we'll try this again?
Sorry. So I began researching talk show appearances and discovered that these seemingly random stories all followed a very similar formula. They were all based around a crazy experience that the celebrity had, and the best ones involved either a funny picture, a twist ending,
And my friend walked by and I grabbed her and I was like, oh, this is Elizabeth Taylor! And she was like, no, it's not.
or what seemed to be the gold standard of talk show stories, getting pulled over by a cop at the worst possible time.
The police pulled me over.
And this policeman comes up, pulls me over.
And I see the sirens behind me and I get pulled over.
And I got pulled over.
I get pulled over.
The cops pulled us over.
And I got pulled over.
And it was really embarrassing. The cop pulled me over.
I got pulled over.
The cops pulled me over.
And we got pulled over. The lights are flashing and I'm like, oh, who are they pulling over? And I realize it's me.
And I said, I'm so sorry, Mr. Policeman.
I do know that I was pulled over twice in 1 week.
How do you get pulled over 4 times and not get a ticket?
This was really funny, actually. I got pulled over.
So after watching nearly 6 hours of celebrity interviews and taking extensive notes, I had compiled enough ideas to construct what could very well be the ultimate talk show anecdote. If I was flying to an out-of-town wedding and I accidentally grabbed the wrong suitcase at the airport, I could tell a funny tale about being forced to wear the oversized suit of a stranger. And then, if I discovered a small baggie containing a chalky substance in the pocket, moments before a cop pulled me over for speeding, it would add a heavy dose of suspense. And finally, if the owner of the suit told me that the substance in the baggie was actually his mother's ashes, it would be a twist ending so unexpected that the audience on Jimmy Kimmel Live would shower me with laughter and applause unlike anything I'd experienced before. So I put on the suit and I look like a Dick Tracy villain or something,
Dick Tracy.
Yeah. When I told the story to my employee Solomon, it killed. But there was still one problem. It was entirely made up, and to lie on a talk show would be a massive risk. Brian Williams once did it.
2 of our 4 helicopters were hit by ground fire, including the one I was in.
No kidding.
RPG and AK-47.
And it destroyed his career.
I want to apologize. I said I was traveling in an aircraft that was hit by RPG fire. I made a mistake.
I didn't want to become the next Brian Williams. So that meant, to ensure my story wasn't a lie, I'd have to orchestrate an elaborate series of events to make every single plot point happen to me for real. My story begins with me attending an out-of-town wedding, so the first thing I'd have to do is get invited to one. A lot of the wedding planning I'm doing because she has to sleep most of the day, as clients does to you. But, I'm taking it on myself, and I'm really excited to do it.
It's nice. It's a good feeling.
Yeah. The couple was gracious enough to give me some pointers.
Pinterest.
Pinterest.
Yes. Especially if she's resting and she can just mess with the computer, it's so easy.
But what they didn't know is that my only purpose for being there was to score a real invite to their wedding. I'd love to see the venue when there's an actual wedding going on. I don't know if I could take a peek or?
Like the setup and everything of it?
Yeah, before and maybe a little bit during, or. I mean.
Of ours?
Yeah, I mean, just to look, I really want to be thorough with my research.
I don't know. A lot going on that day, so we're not sure if we'd want someone coming around and having to worry about that.
Oh, you wouldn't have to worry about me. I'd just take a peek and.
It's just a really busy day. There's going to be a lot going on, and it starts at like 9 a.m. Well, at least I have to be there at like 9, something like that.
You know, I wouldn't have to eat or
Yeah,
drink or,
no,
you know, I wouldn't
just
be
to check
counting.
it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get that.
Yeah. Just, you know, for my fiance too, who can't be there. She'll be resting, so.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it'd be cool for you to see everything.
Yeah. I mean, all right. So I'm invited, I guess, or? Just invited to look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, invited to come and see. Yeah, sure.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. It was now an undeniable fact that I was invited to a real wedding. And with those words, my made-up story for Kimmel was starting to become true. But making my next plot point happen would take some work. Arranging a luggage mix-up with a man who packed an oversized suit that has his real mother's ashes stored in the pocket. So I reached out to the Craigslist community, seeing if anyone who had their mother's ashes and a large suit would be willing to help me out. And within days, I had a few responses.
I actually have 2 different bags. One are my father's ashes and one are my mother's ashes.
Okay. But unfortunately, when it came time to try on their suits, none of them were big enough to provide the comedic effect I needed for my story. Yeah, this is basically my size. There was one guy named Sal whose suit was really big and good. This is good. But unfortunately, he misunderstood the ad and believed the ashes weren't supposed to be real. The post said, you know, I wanted your real mother's ashes.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be provided for me, like a prop or something.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think they needed actual mother's ashes.
Is your mom dead?
No.
Okay. It was unfortunate that Sal's mom was still alive because the suit was perfect. But after he left, I realized there might still be a way of getting those ashes I needed. So I asked him to meet me at his mom's house the next day to tell him my creative workaround. Technically, ashes can be any part of her as long as it's burned. So I figure if there's stuff from her body that she doesn't use, like, you know, nails or an old tooth or some hair, maybe, if we use that, we should be fine. What do you think?
How much hair?
It just has to be enough to fill a tiny baggie, just a little bit.
Like a trim from the bottom, or?
Yeah, just a little bit.
I'll talk to her, see what with the nails and the hairs, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
We'll see what she says.
So with Sal's real mother's ashes now in hand, and the wedding just days away, I could now prepare for the luggage mix-up that would be the catalyst of my story. So I transferred the ashes to a small Ziploc baggie and had Sal put them in the inside breast pocket of his suit jacket, which he was instructed to pack in one of 2 identical suitcases I'd purchased earlier that week. Thanks, Sal.
You're welcome.
Okay. It turned out the wedding venue in Agora Hills was only a 45-minute drive from my home in Los Angeles, but for a real luggage mix-up to happen, I would need to fly. So I booked a round-trip ticket to San Francisco that would immediately return to Los Angeles that same morning. And when the big day finally came, it was time to bring my story to life. The day of the wedding had arrived, so I headed to LAX, where I had pre-arranged for Sal to be booked on the same flight as me. From this moment forward, everything would need to happen like clockwork. So when Sal and I landed in San Francisco, we both got our bags and then immediately checked them back in for our return flight to LA. Sal and I didn't exchange a single word throughout the entire round trip, which is typical for 2 strangers. When the flight landed in Los Angeles, we both went to the luggage carousel where Sal was told to take my bag. So when his luggage came around, it would be a true fact that I grabbed someone else's suitcase at the airport. And after getting my rental car and making the hour-long drive to my hotel in Agora Hills, it was time for the moment in my story where I would open my luggage to discover none of my clothes were inside. As instructed, Sal had filled out his contact info on the luggage tag, allowing me to call the suitcase owner and explain that I had nothing to wear to the wedding.
Well, I have a suit in the case right there that you could borrow.
Oh, yeah, that would be great. With just 30 minutes until the wedding, I was now in the oversized suit that would serve as the funny visual for my story. And right on cue, I discovered the suspicious baggie in the pocket, setting the scene for the essential moment of every great talk show anecdote, getting pulled over by a cop at the worst possible time. I didn't want to break the law, so I had my production team close down a small stretch of road en route to the wedding, where a real police officer I had hired was waiting and ready to pull me over the second I surpassed the speed limit. Ready?
Ready.
Once I crossed 35, I heard the sirens and pulled over to the side of the road, making it truthful that a cop pulled me over on the way to the wedding. So all that was left to do was engage with the officer in a dialogue I had prepared in advance. Hey, can you just read these lines? Yours are highlighted. Thanks.
License and registration, please.
Here you go, officer. My hope was that this strategically crafted interaction would maximize the suspense of my story while allowing me to showcase my quick wit. Thank God you're not the fashion police, or I'd be in big trouble.
What's that?
What?
The bag on the seat.
Oh, I don't know. It's not mine.
Hand it to me.
The officer was hitting all his lines perfectly.
So you're telling me you got the wrong luggage, and this was inside the suit jacket, and it's not even your suit?
I can call the guy. I have his number. And it was soon time for the climax of my story.
All right, so I'm gonna start off with, are you the owner of this suit? Are you the owner of this suit, the suit that this gentleman's wearing? Okay. What's in the baggie? Okay, thank you.
And once the officer handed back the phone, all that was left was the big twist ending. What did he say was in the baggie?
It's his mother's ashes.
Oh my.
That's it, that's me.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. That was great. You did great. Thanks. I did it. And with my run-in with the law complete, I made it to the wedding just in time for the ceremony. I tried to keep a low profile because even though I was technically invited, I doubted they'd be thrilled to see me. The ceremony was beautiful, and I especially liked the part where they kissed each other because it was so romantic. With everything I needed for my story complete, I could have left right then, but I ended up staying for hours, deep into the night. And as my feet glided across a dance floor that had once only existed in my mind, I realized the exciting life I had envied in others had actually become my own.